Alright, well, there you go, there's Far Cry 3, knocking out another project before Bioshock Infinite comes out. At this point, Far Cry 3, Dead Space 3, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance are all done and recorded. As of the time that I recorded this, Far Cry 3 is the last to get all those recorded, but all of them are recorded, now they just need to be uploaded. I don't know if Dead Space will be all the way uploaded by the time Bioshock Infinite comes out, but I'm pretty confident that Far Cry 3 and Metal Gear will. At least I'm pretty positive Metal Gear at least will, but ideally I'd like to have all three of these games, Dead Space 3, Far Cry 3, and Metal Gear, all uploaded by the time Bioshock Infinite comes out. And, yep, so basically all that's left now is, see, I got Bioshock 2, I got Borderlands, Resident Evil 5 has been done for a long time. It's just, you know, so many of these newer projects came up that Metal Gear, you know, took the back burner for a while, but, Resident Evil's been done for a while. It is actually almost done being uploaded and all that, but, let's see, so Borderlands, Bioshock 2, Resident Evil, and Katawa Shoujo I think are the only things left. And although I'm having some recording issues with Katawa Shoujo for some reason, so I'm trying to fix that. But that's pretty much it. Once Dead Space 3, Far Cry 3, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance are all uploaded and done, we can start to kick in some of those older projects that have been going on for a while, like Bioshock 2. I actually recorded some of that earlier today. But like Bioshock 2, Borderlands. I actually have some Borderlands that I still need to edit and all that, but the game is not yet done recorded. Me and Ian will get back to recording that. I still have some footage left over from a while ago, so... But hopefully we will be able to bring some of those projects that have been going on for a while back, like Bioshock 2, Borderlands, and Resident Evil. Hopefully we'll be able to upload more of those. And I don't believe there's anything after the credits in this game, but I don't remember. I don't think there is, though. But, yeah, so I basically mops this up. Took a while, but, you know, Far Cry 3 even, recording-wise, took kind of a backseat, kind of, because Dead Space 3 and Metal Gear came out within, like, 2 weeks of each other, so I wanted to get those going. I wanted to get those up quite a bit when they first came out, so there were, I think for Dead Space and Metal Gear, for like 2 days straight, I uploaded nothing but Dead Space, and for 2 days straight, I uploaded nothing but Metal Gear, just because I wanted to get the first few videos up, so you guys could get a gist of what the game is like, and see what you guys think of those games. But now Far Cry's done, and I didn't think I'd beat it in this session. I forgot how close you are to the end once you do those other two missions, the one with Sam and the one where you blow up the radio tower, or not radio tower, the communications array system thing. But I didn't think I was going to beat it this time, but I ended up doing it. So I kind of procrastinated on recording for like 2 or 3 days. I wanted to record, but I was just like, eh. Like, have you guys ever been like that, where you just like, you want to do something, but at the same time you don't? Just like, I seriously procrastinated in doing this for like 2 or 3 days. I mean, there was one point where I tried recording Katawa Shoujo and it just wouldn't record right, so after that I kind of got out of the mood of recording, just because I was pissed off at that, kind of, but I'll have to try to get Katawa Shoujo working. I don't know why it just stopped working. My recording method for that just stopped working out of nowhere, so I don't know why. Kind of irritates me, to be honest, but oh well. So that mops this up, and finishing off 3 projects. I'll probably start up another one here soon, maybe. I don't know. I don't really want to kind of just leave it with Bioshock, Borderlands, or Resident Evil. Kind of want to do something else with those, kind of make it an even 4. And then once BioShock Infinite comes out, everything else will kind of take a back seat to that. I'll be uploading more BioShock Infinite more than anything else, probably. I will sprinkle some other stuff in with it, of course, but that's pretty much it. Just going through the rest of these credits. It's gotten to the point, I know in a few walkthroughs in the past, I've, you know, kind of given like a last statement, and then I've gotten off. Well, then I stopped the commentary at the credits, but I don't know. I just kind of like to talk through them now. But as for Far Cry 3, I mean, it's an excellent game, very well done. It's probably Far Cry 3 and Max Payne 3 were probably my two top games of 2012. Both very amazing games. Far Cry 3 was absolutely amazing. I think, for the most part, it is definitely a lot better than Far Cry 2. Although there are some things from Far Cry 2 I think they should have brought into Far Cry 3. But, all in all, Far Cry 3 is an amazing game. And I would recommend you go and buy it. It is very fun. And after the credits and all that, you can go back into the, it does kind of like what Infamous 2 does, where it allows you to go back throughout the city and do all your side quests and stuff. Far Cry 3 allows you to do that. You can go do all the quests, get all your upgrades that you want, and just have a fun time after that. And you can, of course, go pretty much anywhere. But, yeah, Far Cry 3 is an awesome game. There's also some DLC for it. I don't have any of the DLC. Didn't really feel like I didn't really feel like any of the DLC was necessary to the game, or would really expand the game all that much. Like, I'm more or less like kind of story-driven DLCs, kind of like the DLCs you get with something like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. But it doesn't really. It didn't really seem like any of the Far Cry 3 DLCs did that. Oh, I didn't really look into it all that much, but I don't really think any of them did that. I could be wrong, but still an excellent game. Overall, just fantastic game, and I can't wait to see what they will do with a Far Cry 4, possibly. I mean, who knows? The Far Cry games are always games that, you know, are separate and have their own stories. So you can't really tell based off of the ending if there's going to be a Far Cry 4 or not. Because obviously Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 3 are in no way connected. Unlike Dead Space 3, unlike the Dead Space series, for example, all of them pretty much have endings that could pretty much make you guess, or at least from the second game, you can pretty much take a guess that, hey, they were going to come out the third one. And then, of course, at the ending of the third one, I'm not going to say what it is, but you can kind of guess that there's going to be a Dead Space 4. And plus, with those rumors going around that EA has canned Dead Space 4, and with EA's response to that, they basically confirmed there's going to be a Dead Space 4. Pretty much. I mean, there was no way they could dispel the rumors without confirming that there's going to be a Dead Space 4, or without saying we're not making a Dead Space 4. There's no way they could have. Basically, in that situation, they were kind of a lose-lose, unfortunately, for EA. And you know what? EA, I love EA. My favorite game publisher. They release so many good games. EA is my favorite game publisher, and people can hate on EA all they want. Just EA gets the brunt of everything, like the fucking the microtransactions. Games have done it before. Like, games have done it before, but for whatever reason, EA gets the brunt of that. Like, other games from other publishers have done it before, yet those publishers don't get shit for it. And like the EA's microtransactions, they're not necessary to the games, they're just extra stuff you can get if you want. I mean, what is the problem with that? Like, I don't see a big issue with it. They don't force you to get it. And with Dead Space 3, you don't have to buy any of the microtransaction stuff in order to beat the game. If it does become like that, oh hell yeah, then the microtransactions would be a bunch of bullshit. But since you don't have to get them to beat the game, who the fuck cares if they're there or not? They're just there as optional stuff you can buy if you want. If you want to add to your game, fucking add to your game. Microtransactions are like DLC. In fact, they're pretty much exactly like DLC. DLC is more content that costs more. Microtransactions are less content that costs less. I mean, it's the same thing. So I don't know why people bitch and moan all that much, but... I mean, they could have microtransactions in all their games if they want, I don't care. As long as they don't make me buy it, and as long as I don't have to buy them to beat the game, then I don't care. People just like to bitch and moan. It's kind of irritating. I don't know why EA gets so much hate. 95%, pretty much everything EA releases is better than anything Activision releases. Like fucking Call of Duty. Or... they have that Walking Dead game coming out, like that first-person shooter Walking Dead game. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Walking Dead TV show. I mean, it's alright. I think the Walking Dead TV show is more of a compilation of every zombie cliche ever made into one show. So I'm not a big fan of it myself. It's not a terrible show. I can see why everyone likes it so much. It's just it doesn't appeal to me exactly. But I had hopes when I heard about the Walking Dead first-person shooter one, or first-person shooter game. Then I was like, oh, Activision's doing it? Eh. And then they saw some footage of it. You saw some like screenshots. I'm like, all these screenshots and shit are just making the game look worse, and I'm losing faith in it more and more. So I'm pretty much nowhere near excited for that game at all. Like, I don't even plan on getting it. I think people are more at this point are just waiting for Season 2 of the video game by Telltale, or Telltale, something like that. I think it's Telltale. I don't know. But by them. I think more people are looking for Season 2 for that. And I think they did confirm that Season 2 of the video game anyway was coming out. I want to say it was this summer or something. I don't remember. If it is, you don't have to wait too long. And if you guys are still here with me, I clap to you. These are some pretty long credits. Why I'm still talking, I don't know. I went on like 3 different discussions. Talking about the projects on the channel, talking about Far Cry 3 in general, and then talking about EA and their microtransactions. Norwegian. I was like reading the names in the credits. I always go through the credits in every game I play just to see if there's something after them. And I always like just reading the game names because some people have some like funny names. Or at least funny to me anyway, because most of the names I find funny are like foreign names. Flying Architects team. For those of you who have played Far Cry 3, what did you guys think of the game in general? There was some stuff I missed from Far Cry 2. I believe I said it throughout playing the game that I kind of missed not being able to drive and look at the map at the same time. I thought that was pretty cool. Really useful too. Even though I think my Far Cry 2 playthrough I crashed quite a few times while looking at the map, because I wasn't paying attention to the road. Although I think Far Cry 3 had like a mini-map at the corner of the screen, so I guess that kind of helped, but because I don't think Far Cry 2 had that. I think you had to look at the map while you were driving to if you wanted to know where you were going. I don't think there was any mini map in Far Cry 2. But even still, just looking at the map while you're driving and looking at the whole map and the whole world is kind of easier than, you know, looking at the general area around you in a mini map. Also really liked how in Far Cry 3 they involved more of the environment. Like in Far Cry 2 you had like animals and everything and wildlife and all that, but not really much to do with it. Far Cry 3 you actually had to hunt the animals to upgrade your equipment, which I thought was very cool. Wonder how long like Far Cry 3 was in development for. Like I mean, sometimes it's hard to gauge with games sometimes. I mean, like, Far Cry 3, or not Far Cry 3, Dead Space 3 came out like 2 years after the second one. And then you have like an Assassin's Creed coming out every year now. And people are like, oh my god, there's another Assassin's Creed game coming out. Well, what people don't realize is that Ubisoft has several different teams working on each individual Assassin's Creed game. So chances are, by the time Assassin's Creed 3 came out, I kind of bit my tongue right there. By the time Assassin's Creed 3 came out, Ubisoft probably already had a team working on Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for like the past year. So, I mean, they have several different teams working on each Assassin's Creed. And for all we know, the game could start off in one part of Ubisoft and transfer all the way to another one and get, you know, ping-ponged back and forth. I'm not really sure. I think they're kind of bullshitting them now, though, because you have, like, I don't know. Just like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag involves a pirate now and like a totally different guy. Like, why? I don't know. Like, I miss Ezio because, you know, it's the same character. With, you know, all the games had like a fluid story between all the ones with Ezio anyway had like a fluid story and all that. Then Connor was still involved in with, you know, Desmond and all that. And I just like this new guy, this new pirate guy. Like, I'm not a big fan of pirates. Like, I'm not a big fan of those cliche type of themes like pirates, orcs, fairies. Like, I don't like all that stuff. It's cliche. Hardly anything is ever new with it, but I mean, just Assassin's Creed. I'm sure it'll be a good game, but just I wonder how they're gonna connect. I don't remember the end of Assassin's Creed 3 all that well, so. But I wonder how this new guy is going to connect in with Desmond and what Desmond has to do with this new guy or whatever. Or if Desmond is involved at all, because I really don't remember the end of Assassin's Creed 3. Like, it's just all a blur. Even still, the Assassin's Creed games are still very good games. Especially since they've been coming out, you know, every year. They've still been good games. And people still really like them. But Call of Duty, like, people still really like Call of Duty, but the games are total crap. So I don't know why. I don't know. It's just why, if Assassin's Creed can be, you know, can come out every year and still be good, why can't Call of Duty do that? I mean, I haven't Black Ops 2 isn't that bad. It's not terrible. But still, I really I just don't know. I haven't popped in Black Ops 2 for probably like 2 months. 2 months plus. I don't have the DLC. Don't plan on getting it. The thing about Treyarch is they do a real good job with making trailers. Whether they're like usual, like funny trailers. They're good at making funny trailers. And they're always good at making their DLC look good. But when the DLC comes out, DLC just ends up being total crap. I don't know why, but Treyarch is terrible at making DLC. I don't know. I'm just kind of fucking with my phone right now in my hand, but like this new DLC, the one that came out, Black Ops 2. What is it even called? Like Revelations or Revolution or something? I don't even know. Something like that. But every map in that DLC sucked. I played them at a friend's house, and God, they were garbage. The new weapon was alright. It wasn't a bad weapon. It seemed relatively balanced, so I didn't have any problems with the weapon, but I still don't think that DLC was worth no $15. So, and then the zombie map Die Rise, it was, I think is what that's called. It was, I mean, they made it seem a lot cooler in the trailer. It's not like it's a bad zombie map. It's probably out of that and all the other ones that are pretty much all linked into transit. It's probably the best zombie map, but I mean, even still, it's not terrible. I just wouldn't say it's great. It's like you're in a whole like skyscraper or several skyscrapers, and yet the whole map still feels really small. And holy crap, these credits are long. Play this song again. I don't know why I like it. It's nice and calming. Overall, this game had a pretty good soundtrack. Except for that cheesy flight song earlier. That was pretty cheesy. My God, I think these credits are starting to reach Batman Arkham City status. I wonder what the next Batman game is going to be. They did announce that there's another Batman game coming, made by a different team, I think, than the team that made Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I wonder what that's going to be. I liked Arkham Asylum, but I don't think it deserved all the credit it got. And I did a walkthrough of it on my channel. It's an older one. Still turned out good, I think, but I think the game was good. I just don't think it deserved all the hype it got. Like, I really hate that they made the game free roam. It's just like, the game, like when you're doing the main story of the game, it's just going back and forth. Like, the game doesn't really give you any reason to go roam around the city. Like, the only times you really roam around the city are when you're going back and forth between the main missions. And you have the side missions and everything, but the side missions are boring. They're not interesting or fun at all. The game feels like they made the game linear, like Arkham Asylum. And then at the last second, they're like, let's add it free roam. If you actually take the time to roam around and look at the city, it's very well done, very detailed, but it's like, feels like all the effort was pointless, because there's no reason to go around the city looking, or to explore the city, really. So, oh well, my personal opinions. I just hope they make the next one more linear, like Arkham Asylum. I think the Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are good games. I don't think they're great or amazing. I think they're all right. And there we go. We're back, return to the island and continue exploring. Sure. We're already here anyway, looking at the sky, stargazing. So we're back at the island after those pretty long credits. So that is the end of Far Cry 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll grab this for no reason at all. But I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I kind of figured it'd be more in parts than it actually turned out to be. I think this is going to be maybe around 50-ish parts. Kind of thought it'd be longer, to be honest. I think Far Cry 2 is like 70 parts exactly. Still think the longest walkthrough I've done up to this point is Mass Effect 3, which came out to be over 100. I think it was like 117 or something like that, so... Mass Effect 3 is a good game. Haven't done any of the DLC for it. Another case of, like, I just don't really think I need to. I just don't really feel any of the Mass Effect 3 DLC is, you know, that big of a deal. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed Far Cry 3 and this long journey. Long as in it took a while to complete. But thank you guys for watching. I see those birds over there. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed Far Cry 3. And I hope to see you guys on the next project. Hope to see you guys on BioShock Infinite. And I'll see you guys later. I am out.